I knew I needed more help than I had. That's when Extendivite came into my life. Made from garlic, cayenne, and 5 other herbs, I started to feel better in a very short time. My name's Don Wiskin, and I'm here because of Extendivite.
Extendivite gave me more energy than I've had in years. I am the only one in my house right now that's not sick from colds or flus. And I owe that all to Extendivite. My name is Rick, and I'm healthy because of Extendivite. To get your Extendivite, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit the website at heartdrop.com. That's HEARTDROP.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Well, we're really honored to have Piers Corbin of WeatherAction.com on with us from England. Very busy guy. I twisted his arm to stay till 45 after because this is a short segment. And you know I don't normally gush at guests. It's just somebody who even mainstream media has to admit has about an 85% accuracy rate in year-out forecasting. I mean, they can't get anything right here in Austin past 2 or 3, 4 days. So they can track a weather system and pretty much get down what it's going to do, but they can't track the larger areas. And so because they want to push man-made global warming, they have this quackery that the moon and the sun, and they said that last year at Copenhagen, an official UN declaration that the sun does not affect climate. The sun is the driver. Is it not astrophysicist, meteorologist Piers Corbin?
That's right. The sun drives it. And the main climate driver is through magnetic effects involving charged particles modulated by lunar influences. And the main cycles of weather observed on Earth are, in fact, solar-lunar driven. The 60-year cycle in the Pacific temperatures and American temperatures is a solar-lunar effect, and that modulates, if you like, the main magnetic effect, which is a 22-year cycle of world temperatures.
So what is the current cycle point we're in right now, and what do you see coming up in the next 12 months?
Right. What we've got now is we're leaving the solar minimum. We've left solar cycle 23, and we're in the start of solar cycle 24, and it's been hiccuping in its starting, and it's a lot of solar activity has tended to be low, and at the same time we're in a very fortuitous, if you like, lunar phase in the eclipse cycle of the moon, where we've just had some eclipses, and these appear to be accentuating the blocking tendencies of the jet stream, which we predict. And these blocking tendencies are very important for extreme events, like they're leading to these extreme cold situations in Britain and Europe, and your major blizzards and cold blasts in America. They also lead to very warm bits in different parts at times, but the key thing is right now the extreme cold experienced. And these extreme blockings are going to continue through January and February and right through the year. So we'll see a lot of extreme type of things, a lot more cold spells than the global warmers would like us to have. And it will generally look like a kind of different weather situation where we'll go through this year compared with previous years. We've entered some sort of pretty fundamental shift, I would say, in weather patterns.
Again, here's my simpleton question. Obviously, the moon is involved in the same orbits and gyrations and is stable, but the sun, do we have any idea on its short cycles? Obviously not its long cycles. So it looks to me like that's a major variable, and that the sun is fluctuating and we don't know, so we have to always understand that's the big wild card, because though even the ancients understood the relationship with the moon and the sea and the overall weather, isn't the sun the big wild card?
Well, yes and no. There's a lot of things on the sun which are happening, which we can't see, but we nevertheless know they happen and change the way in which the solar wind gets to us and the magnetic linkages, and we can predict some of those very well. Like, we know there's certain going to be shock waves, if you like, in the solar wind, some of which will help blocking and give us, for example, a cold blast in Britain or America if the blocking is in a certain place, and others lead to the jet stream being more mobile, and it generally wetter and milder in the northern hemisphere. And we can distinguish between these two types of effect, generally speaking. In terms of activity on the sun, I mean, an important thing is it spins around on its axis, so something that happened 27 days ago may come back in 27 days, every 27 days, because it spins relative to the Earth in 27 days. But at the same time, it changes on its surface, so you can't rely on that. But solar flares come in bursts of typically every 155 days on average, which is quite an important thing. There's many cycles and subcycles on the sun.
So we do know a lot about it. Okay, stay there. I want to come back and talk more about the sun. I want to talk about jet streams and a lot more with Piers Corbin at WeatherAction.com. I'm Alex Jones of Infowars.com. Our final segment with our guest. Straight ahead. Stay with us.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full-acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com. Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, it seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com, or watch it online right now in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Pure water. What could be better than the gift of health for your loved ones? And who better to help you give the gift this holiday season than BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com? If those on your gift list are drinking or bathing in unfiltered city or well water, chances are that water is contaminated with rust, bacteria, chlorine, and fluoride. For just pennies a day, Berkey Water Filters remove dangerous contaminants from both well and city water, is powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water, and is great for camping and emergencies. Right now, GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filters filter systems and free shipping on orders over $50. Purchase any filter system from BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com to get your choice of Berkey Sport bottles, a KDF shower filter, a set of fluoride filters, or the new Sight Glass spigot. Absolutely free. Visit BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com or call 877-99-BERKEY today. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Give the gift of health at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com today.
Guest said he can clearly say, "I told you so." Back in November, the UK's government weather forecasting office claimed that this winter would be mild. That's the same office pushing a global warming agenda. But here's the forecast for this winter, as predicted in November by astrophysicist and meteorologist Piers Corbyn. Take a listen.
The winter, December to February, inclusive in Britain and Europe, will be exceptionally cold and snowy, like hell frozen over at times.
He was right. It feels like that outside right now. You're looking at video of an extremely snowy Britain from this week. So much for global warming. He says prepare for the ice age. Piers Corbyn joins us now.
We now take you live to the Central Texas Command Center in the heart of the resistance. You're listening to the Alex Jones Show.
And the resistance to the neo-collectivist eugenicist is gaining steam. Republicans kill global warming committee. Republicans have disabled the one committee devoted solely to climate change and energy issues. And we have other articles at prisonplanet.com with these bizarre people openly calling for euthanizing above 65s in The Guardian. You cannot make this type of bizarreness up. Calling for prison cities rationing. I want to get back into the science with Piers Corbyn and his forecast. And he was talking about the jet stream stalling over in Australia. But I'd seen alternative media claim that the blizzard was caused by a stalling of the main jet streams. And he said absolutely. And I looked it up during the break. Turns out he did predict that as well. So, wow, that's pretty wild. We'll get into all of that and his forecast going into this year, which the preliminaries are out on. He'll have more in the next few months with a full year forecast. But